So it's been a little over a week and 1 day since I got back from this trip, and I thought, it's time to make another video, upload something. I'm just sitting out back in my yard. It's kind of a gloomy day, so let's talk a little bit about a gloomy subject, maybe. Um, wear my favorite bucket hat. Got a thing for flowers, paisley and flowers. But I'm going to talk about loss a little bit. Um, how loss changes us, how we deal with it, um, and especially how I do, how like some of the things I've gone through maybe can help you. Also, again, like I always do these videos could be around forever. And I want my kids to see the kind of person I am and the person I was, the person I will become. And hopefully these videos will help with that a little bit. Um, and maybe even a little bit of self-therapy. So, um, for those that know me, know I have a past of loss, some very, very close people I've lost with years. In particular, my parents. The story goes 2001, going on 24 years now, a little over 24 years, or 23 years. My mother died on October 10th. Yes, she died. She didn't pass away. Um, and my father died the next day, October 11th, completely unrelated. Um, Mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on Sunday, maybe Monday, and by Wednesday she had passed. She had died. And Dad had been in the hospital for about a month, had gallbladder surgery, and the surgery went well, but he was prone to strokes and had a stroke, and he died the next day. So I lost both of my parents basically within about 24 hours. And what made it worse, like it could be worse, is that I wasn't in town. I was on an anniversary trip with my now ex-wife. Um, and my mother, the one thing I remember is, she never wanted me to not enjoy the most out of life, was that she said, go, have fun. No one's going to die when you're gone. Well, I didn't get back to after my father had passed, and it's maybe one of the few regrets in life that I did leave. But um, I know it meant a lot of pain to my family, and tried to deal with it over the years. So, how do you deal with this? One thing I like to say, and there's another aspect of loss that I want to get into, but one of the things I would like to say is that you can only grieve so much. When you lose somebody, someone dies, especially, um, and death is just a transition, right? I'm a reincarnationist. I believe there's an afterlife, and the afterlife is my next life. The time is not linear, but time is a construct. But I've said that things in other videos, and I'll get into that detail somewhere else. But um, when you're when someone you love and care about that raised you and dies, you and then the next day another one dies, and you're trying to deal with it, there's a maximum amount of pain and maximum amount of grief. Now, I I assume we all feel grief different, but I didn't feel any worse losing one parent than I did two, or two versus one, because I was hurting beyond. So, how do I deal with it? You can shove it down, you can talk about it, you can do things like this. It's taken me 23 years to like say it out loud, even. Um, but I did learn something new about grief too. Um, Talking with a therapist, it's that don't celebrate the days they died. We tend to do that, but the days they lived. So moving forward every year, I'm going to celebrate their birthdays again. I'm hoping to have a party for my mom. Maybe if it's just me and the kids, she never got to meet her grandson. Um, January 18th, I'll celebrate it. But grief has a cap. It does. It may extend longer, but the amount you feel is always there. I can imagine it's worse losing a child or something like that. But there's other kinds of grief, and one I've felt recently, and one that I don't want to say I understand, but I do, is people that lose somebody and not understand what's going on. For example, your, God forbid, child is kidnapped and you don't know what's going on with them. You don't know if they're alive, if they're dead, if they're safe or not safe. I think about the people captured in Israel and Gaza, and like how that's the worst kind of grief. Not knowing is the worst kind of grief. And I've had some relationship issues. I've had some relationship things with people that I really care about that I've ran into that, and I don't know how to deal with it. So if there's anybody that does know, let me do it. And again, it's nothing like these people are dealing with, but I can understand like how tormenting that must be to lose somebody and think, and maybe they're alive, but just you have no control. So loss without control is the worst. When someone dies, it's final, at least in this lifetime. You can mourn, you can go through all the steps, you can do all the things, but when someone's kidnapped or captured or taken away from you or just left you, um, there's a sense of loss there that drags on. And to me, it's the worst kind of loss. Sure, I never get to talk to my mother or father again. It's been 23 years, but I've been dealing with it, and there's a finality to it. So, just some of my insights on it. But what I would say is grieve together. Um, don't hide from grief. Don't hide from sadness. Um, it just will stick with you like glue. But as always, I love you. Love yourself. Without love, there's nothing. Look at this beautiful sky above me. Um, Wearing my favorite bucket hat. Gonna maybe paint some bumblebees today. Um, but loss. We all deal with it in different ways. Find your peace in it, um, and get through it because the world needs you. I love you. Love yourself. Have a great, beautiful day. It's the one you got right now. Bye.